to any questions that you all have. Give me one moment, I'm sorry. This is odd. Okay, I'll just do this. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my PowerPoint screen?
No, we see emails.
Oops, wrong screen. Stop. That one more time. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, that should work now. How about now? Better?
No, we don't see anything.
Don't see my screen that I'm sharing.
No.
Sorry about that. This is weird. Nothing at this point. Do you see?
There you go. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I'll just start off the discussion by HyFlex classrooms. We set up about 22 and altogether about 34 classrooms across the campus. And what these classrooms have is basically a couple of web cameras, fixed microphones on the ceilings, and and the software to go with it to connect basically any classroom with anybody off campus. So the HyFlex nature, as I was mentioning earlier, means that students could be within the classroom. So as you see this classroom, students could be sitting in the classroom right here, and with the cameras and the microphones that are connected in the classroom, the faculty can connect students who may be connecting remotely or at a remote location anywhere. So it mixes the students in the classroom together with the students who are connecting remotely. Therefore, the name HyFlex. We're also adding another 65, about 76 actually, 65 in LA1 through LA5 in psychology building, as well as 11 classrooms in the VEC building. So again, these classrooms are going to be across the campus and will connect students with the classes being taught. So while we do AMI or alternative mode of instruction, it'll help through HyFlex classes. That means the mixed pedagogy. But after we're done with AMI and we're teaching face-to-face and we're back to our normal face-to-face classes, these classes are going to become connected classes where faculty can connect to their peers in other universities, internationally with other faculty and organizations or institutions where they want to bring in scholars or other speakers into their classrooms. And the students will be able to see these folks through the cameras and engage with them through the microphone. So the long-term goal is that to make our classrooms really connected and in and out of the classroom with individuals across the board. And that's basically what I wanted to share. I also wanted to show you give me one moment. I'm gonna pull this up. We on our website we have information about the HyFlex classrooms, what they have, the location, and so forth. And you can look at that, and I'll be happy to share my PowerPoint also. But I'll be open to any questions or follow-up issues that you all have.
Thank you, Sharik. We have a question from Senator Cruz.
Yes, I was wondering if you can share the link of the website that you had at the last time. And another question is by any chance, do you know if there are plans to expand these to all campus as a whole, like throughout the campus, or just limited classrooms?
So I think, from what I just showed to you, and I just posted the link, if you can click on it and, see if that works. It also pulled up my Outlook, but I think it should work. But answering your question, Senator Cruz, what was going to happen is that right now we have 34 classrooms presently which are available. Then, by fall, we're hoping to have another 65. So that'll bring us to about 100 and some classrooms. And then as a second wave, over the next year and a half, we're going to do another 101 classrooms. So all of these classrooms, you can call them HyFlex, or you can call them connected classrooms. So they'll enable folks to connect and bring people into their classrooms virtually using the cameras and the students to engage using the cameras and the microphones and so forth. Will it cover each and every single classroom? Not initially, but eventually it'll cover pretty much all the classrooms. So the way the classrooms are set up on campus is that we have university-wide classrooms. That means these are the classrooms which anybody can which are open to any college to go ahead and teach. They're open to everybody. And then there are departmental classrooms which are specific to, say, College of Business, College of Engineering, and so forth. And most of the classes that take place are for those colleges. So the ones that we're upgrading are the ones which are university-wide. So I would say that we'll cover by the time we're done, our classrooms are going to be at about 80 to 90%. The university-wide classrooms are going to be connected, and we'll have this technology in there. So we'll have about by the end of a year and a half, 2 years, I think we'll have 65, 101, and we'll have about upward of 225 classrooms which will be connected. So I think that brings us to almost 80 to 90% of coverage of all of the classrooms that we control on campus.
Noted.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And I have the other question. It's like with the mostly using Zoom this semester, and some people using Microsoft Teams. Do you know what kind of program is being used in this HyFlex, or it can be adaptable to the already existing, or we can expand to another program?
It depends. For the most part, the tool, the favored tool that most faculty have used during AMI has been Zoom. We've seen a tremendous increase in the use of Zoom. And I wish I had the slide deck that I could show to you, but we've had almost like 1,000% increase, if not more, in the number of users and number of courses that are obviously using Zoom to connect and to present and to run courses. So that's, I would say, that is the ideal tool that faculty are using for connecting. But as far as these rooms are concerned, any tool can be used because the devices that we've placed can work with Zoom. They can work with Teams. They can even work with Skype. So sometimes, some scholars, and especially internationally, they don't have access to Zoom and or Teams. They can even connect through Skype. So, that's just a preference of the faculty member, what they want to connect, what application they want to use to connect with.
Gotcha. And thank you so much. And just one last question. There's going to be a kind of like workshops and videos explaining this to students and faculties, right? Like just to spread the word.
Absolutely. So we're going to spend summer training faculty and providing them support and workshops and so forth, especially the faculty who want to teach HyFlex. So many faculty have expressed the need to or the desire to teach HyFlex. That means half the students are in class, half the students are off campus. So for them to to go into these rooms could be a little an uphill task. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them the support in in terms of realigning the class pedagogically, or from from the design perspective. Also, we'll give them the technical training and the support that they need within the classroom. So here's the control panel, here's how you control this, here's how you control the camera, and here's how you control the rest of the things. I do want to add one more thing. In our first phase of our HyFlex classrooms, what we did is we put in two cameras. One was pointing to the faculty. The other one was pointing at the students. So the faculty could move those cameras between between the cameras. So depending upon what it is that they're doing in the class, if they want to show the students sitting in the class to interact with the students who are connecting remotely, they could switch the camera. And these are PTZ cameras. That means pan, tilt, and zoom. That means the cameras are movable. They can move positions, so they could show pretty much everything. One of the things that we got back as feedback as we tested some of these classrooms was that it would be nice, because many faculty, as they teach and they're in front of the rooms, they move from from being in front of the podium to going to the whiteboard and so forth. They move around. So what we're doing with the future the classrooms that we're going to be building, the next 65 that we're putting in and will be available by fall, we're putting in speaker tracking systems. That means these cameras will track the speaker. So we'll put one speaker tracking camera in the back of the room, and depending upon how the speaker is or the instructor is positioned, the cameras are going to follow the instructor. So if the instructor is standing in front of the podium, the camera is going to focus and zoom at the instructor, showing the instructor right there. And as he or she moves around in the room, in the classroom, the camera is going to move with them. And one more thing that we've done is also added lapel microphones for the instructors, so we can put better audio. So we've already improved on the first generation. In the second gen that we're going to put in, the next 65 classrooms, we're going to have these advanced technologies also.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for clarifying all the doubts for me. Highly appreciated.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Is there any other last minute questions, since we do have Sharik here with us? I see no other hands. Dr. Bosa, thank you so much. This is so cool. I do want to mention, when you were talking, it kind of reminded me, I don't know if anyone has seen the Netflix show where like Selena Gomez cooks and like the camera follows her. That's what like came to mind when you were talking about it. And I'm assuming that's probably how it is, where like the camera just tracks their movement and like the audio, right? So it's pretty cool. I thought it was going to be more of like the professor having to like do two things at once and trying to control both systems. So it sounds a little bit more like easier and not having to do two jobs at once. So that is good to hear.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Maite. Because of what the 22 rooms that we've established right now, the professors don't really have to move the cameras because you've set them with defaults, right? So the cameras can move and they can press 1, 2, 3, 4 depending upon where they're standing, but they'd have to make that choice. So if they're standing in front of the podium, they press press default 1. If they move over to the whiteboard and they're writing on the whiteboard, they press the preset number 2. So the camera will move that way. They'll have to do that much. With the next gen classrooms that we put together, they won't have to do that at all. So the cameras will follow them as they move around. And we haven't tested them. We have to put the first one in. It could even cover the students, but it'll be a weird angle. It'll show the back of the students. But we could only afford one of those cameras per room. But that in itself is huge, because we were comparing ourselves with other CSUs. San Diego has some, and I think there's one other. I think Dominguez has some. But other than that, we're ahead of the curve in this.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Sharik. If there's no other questions, then again, thank you for joining us tonight and giving us a little bit more insight. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and great to be here.
Thank you. All right, y'all. So hopefully that was very informational for y'all. So